Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing a spoiler review for Spider-Man Far From Home. Oh my god. As I said in my non-spoiler review, if any of you guys have watched that, I have never seen a movie twice in one day ever in my life, whether it's at home or in a theater. The same movie, I mean, not, I've watched many movies twice in one day, but like, you know what I mean, like the same movie, I've never done that. But I could not even get half a mile, like 100 yards, very different distances. I could not get far from the theater at all before I had to pull over and buy another ticket to see this movie in about 45 minutes, and I need to see it again. I'm freaking out so much, and I'm sure those of you guys who are watching this who have seen the movie are also freaking out, and so we're going to talk about all of those things that are making us freak out. If you have not seen the movie, I do recommend that you don't watch this video. Please go watch my non-spoiler review. It is up on my channel as well, and I'll try and put it in the cards above the little I button. I just am so much, I'm just freaking out. You guys know I love Peter Parker. You guys know I love Tony Stark, and I am so overwhelmed, especially with those end credit scenes, but we will get to them. The first thing, I guess, I don't even know what to talk about first. I was so worried for this movie. I was so nervous. You guys know that. You've been following me throughout all the trailers. Like, you know how nervous I was for this movie, and I am not nervous anymore, obviously, because I just saw it, but I'm freaking out because it was so good. It was so good, and the action was like 10 times more and amazing and better, and there's so many shots that actually made me lose my breath. I was like, oh, it's like a Spider-Man comic, but beautiful and live action, and it was just so good. Like, I just don't know what to talk about first. Okay, let's talk about Tony Stark first. I think they did an amazing job of carrying over his legacy after Endgame. Please see Endgame. We are like 15 million away from topping Avatar. Please, guys, see Endgame. Please. I was so nervous because I love that character so much, and the Iron Dad fandom, the relationship between Peter and Tony was one of my favorite things that MCU has ever done, ever, and it was so important to me, and that's one of the reasons why I was crying for 3 days straight after Endgame, was because I was like, you can't take away his third father figure. But they did, and I'm still upset about that, but you gotta move forward. And this movie, I don't think, it did not disappoint regarding the legacy that is carried on with Tony. I think the whole glasses thing was really sweet. Tom Holland's acting and the script, just the writing, the directing, the way they gave Peter Parker, they actually showed him emotional, made me so relieved and happy, and it took all of my nerves and just stripped them away, because in so many movies, especially with male characters, and that's why it annoys me so much. Check out my Will Byers character study if you guys want to talk about male characters not being allowed to experience emotion, because it really makes them two-dimensional, you know? Like, they need to be three-dimensional. They need to have emotions like, you know, people. And it was making me so nervous, because in films like, I think like Harry Potter, they really take like all of the emotion, all of the breakdowns, everything from the book, and they're like, and they just like get rid of it, or they make it really short and insignificant, and it really lessens the impact of terrible things that are happening to these characters. And something like the snap, something like losing first his parents, then Uncle Ben, then Tony Stark right in front of his eyes, for like, how many times does this have to happen to Peter? And he, just this poor kid. And I was so nervous, but they actually did it. You know, that whole scene with Happy, they did it, you know? And I'm just so happy. It doesn't, I know it's not gonna look like this is some big step forward in the movie industry, but it is to me. And I think it is. It genuinely is. It's like something as small as that, it just moves us forward, even if it's like a millimeter. Seeing your heroes act like Peter Parker did in this movie on screen, that's heartbreaking and important. and it humanizes him so much. And he's always a character that's very much humanized because he's a kid, and they love to emphasize that because they should. And so it's not like there was a real lack of emotion, you know, it was there, but after the events of Infinity War and Endgame, I think it was so important that the emotional core of this movie was Peter's experience with loss and with having to continue being a hero when it just leads to more and more and more and more loss for him. And they addressed that directly, and it made me so happy. And so that, and then, so, and I guess that leads me straight into MJ's line, like, I don't have much experience, like, it doesn't go well for me when I, like, get close to people. And I was like, missed opportunity here, because Peter definitely should have said, yeah, me too, because that would have been, like, that's literally like a Peter Parker line. Like, everyone he gets close to dies. It's just awful. But it's true. In the comics and in the movies, it's awful. It's so sad. But, like, that they need to talk about that. It's like, he's a kid. He's not going to be okay. He's like Tony Stark, obviously. We saw glimpses of how sad and depressed and, like, his anxiety and just everything building and building inside of him all the time, and how that manifested itself into how obsessed he was with saving the world, and with just building and building and building and making things better and safer, and building a suit of armor around the world, but mainly he did it around the people he loves most, aka Rhodey, Pepper, and Peter. And it's just, but with adult characters, you don't really see them stripped down, you know? But, like, we did, literally, with this, literally, I hated that scene. Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. Oh, I hated it. That was another moment that I had to look away. The, like, take off your clothes scene, I was like, they're not gonna do this, right? This is not happening. Like, I knew he wasn't gonna, like, strip down fully, but then, like, the whole, like, prostitution, it was just, like, I was, like, it was so uncomfortable. Like, it was just so uncomfortable. But then it led to a really cool sequence in the bus with the Peter jumping out, and he was like, oh, it was so good. And then just all the action sequences and the way that they would do so many, like, hover slow-mo shots that were just so beautiful, and it was like, but I already teased it. So the Peter and MJ romance was so awkward. And when they were kissing, that was another moment where I, like, really was like I actually got I felt like I looked weird in the theater. I was like, ugh. But it was so normal, you know, like, that's a very, very, very accurate description of two people who, you know what I mean, guys. Like, it was very accurate, and I think that's another reason why it was so uncomfortable to watch. And the actors have talked about how it was uncomfortable because they're so, like, such close friends in real life, and, like, it was just awkward, so we're gonna move on. But I thought it was a cute moment. You know, it was cute. And I was really nervous about their like, the Peter MJ relationship, but I thought that it was good. I thought it was actually really well done, and a large part of that has to do with Zendaya and Tom's acting, and the script. I thought, like, they've expertly, like, achieved being awkward, and that was great. I just wish, I just really, like, I really don't like doing, like, the female love interest every movie. It's just first Liz, then MJ, and they didn't even address Liz, and it just felt weird. But again, it's like, I don't even know how to feel about that. Like, my opinion on that, I don't know how to feel about my own opinion, because 5 years have passed, and maybe Liz didn't even get snapped out of existence, blipped. And so, not sponsored by Gatorade, but I'm just so confused about how I feel about it. But it's cute, and I think they did a really good job with it. Like, if they had to do it, it was really good, and they did it the best way they probably could have done it. But there's just so many questions about the world post-snap, and I think that this movie did a fantastic job of answering a lot of those questions. I don't like the fact that they made it kind of comedic what happened, but at the same time, I do like it because they're teenagers and trying to cope with that, like their news segment, which was one of the things that made me tear up. It made the dusting look really cheap and, like, weird, like all those memes, like, that's what it made it look like. which is like good and bad at the same time. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about that, because I'd love to talk more about it. It's such a complex thing. All of a sudden, after Infinity War and Endgame, the MCU and this movie, the MCU is so complicated and it's just so much fun. Okay, but I cannot wait any longer. So we need to talk about the end credit scenes, because I am going crazy thinking about the fact that the world knows Peter Parker's identity. We cannot... What is going on, guys? What is going on? Oh my god, how are they doing this early? It's supposed to... Even in the Civil War comic, I'm pretty sure he took it back. Or something happened. Like, Spider-Man cannot have it. Yeah, and they've already, like... At the end of Homecoming, they did the May thing, and I was like, oh my god, she knows already. But like, that's one person, and May and Ned and MJ, that's like so small, you know. But everyone, that's a real deal game changer, and they have to have, like, they better have a good story for covering that up. And I know that like Nick Fury and like all of them are gonna be on top of that, but like. Oh my god, I'm freaking out for Peter so much. And like, I know it sounds like I'm talking about these characters like they're real, because they are kind of real in my head. And so for the next however many years until we get another Spider-Man movie, I'm going to be flipping out over what's going to happen to Peter, because even if this all goes under the rug, everyone's going to associate him with being the person that people thought was Spider-Man. And how are they going to cover that up? If like Quentin Beck's dying words, and they all thought he was a hero, his dying words were that Spider-Man was like this awful person. And of course the Daily Bugle and J. Jonah Jameson, J.K. Simmons came in. Oh my god, guys, the Spider-Verse is real. But I don't even know what to say. It was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. And I was kind of like going like this the whole time after, just unable to process it. I'm just so shocked right now. I'm so confused about why they did it and why they did it this early and in the way that they did. But let's talk about another thing, because Quentin Beck is not dead. He's not. His literal dying words were that the people will believe what they want to believe, like the illusion. Everyone will believe the illusion. Those were his dying words. And Peter asked if the illusions were still going. The illusions, like the drones. And Edith said no. So, but they were talking about the illusion. That was still Quentin Beck, and he's an actor, and he was definitely just acting right there. He is not dead, because 150% they are bringing the Sinister Six in, and I cannot wait. We already have Scorpion, we already have Vulture, and now we have Mysterio, and like obviously the Sinister Six is like a slightly different team every time. There are some core members every time as well. Like, I wonder if we're gonna get Otto Octavius or just Mr. Negative or any. I'm just so. Oh, I wonder who we're gonna get next. But they're really, and I don't believe, and I know for a fact he's not dead. So like, what am I doing? We have 3 members of the Sinister Six that are alive and don't like Peter. So, it's so exciting. I thought the Mysterio's illusions were absolutely crazy. They looked so cool, and they did a really good job of not making it look like Doctor Strange-esque. It looked very different, but like also really trippy, and it was so cool. I thought it was a missed opportunity to have Tony Stark there being like, you let me down or whatever, but I think that would have really broken I don't know if that would have broken Peter out of it or just like made him freeze up. But the grave thing, that was heavy. Like wow. But okay, another thing, like Tony Stark's grave definitely doesn't look that bad. Like, it's not in that bad of a shape. That was like a really like dingy, dirty grave. That was awful. But it was so good. And then Peter getting hit by the train was just absolutely crazy. And just Tom Holland's acting in this movie was so good. Like, I felt the pain, you know? It was so good. It was, and that whole sequence from, the whole movie, really, but like the whole sequence after he finds out about Mysterio, or like when he gets hit by the train, like that whole, and then he's in the Netherlands, and then he goes to Happy and he has the breakdown, and just, it's so good. Like, it's so good. I need to leave soon to go see the movie again. I'm not even gonna have time to edit these. I'll edit them tonight when I get home, and I promise I'll do that. I'm gonna be very excited. And then the other end credit scene with the scrolls. Oh my god, because my best friend literally texted me. She sent it before I saw the movie, but I had already put my phone in the bag, and I read it when I got out. No, I read it in the theater in between the end credit scenes because I finally was able to slow my mind down, and I like quickly went to check whatever theory. She's like, it's like a Marvel theory, it has nothing to do with Spider-Man. And I was like, okay. So I went to read what it was really quickly. And it was literally the theory about Nick Fury being a Skrull because of the toast thing. And because he eats diagonal toast in Age of Ultron, but he says he can't eat diagonal toast in Captain Marvel, which is another movie you need to see if you haven't seen it. You need to see Captain Marvel before you see this movie, if any of you are watching this before you see Far From Home. Anyway, what's happening inside my brain? Oh, and it was literally a theory about Nick Fury being a Skrull, and then the next, like, literally 10 seconds later, there's a Nick Fury and Maria Hill turn into Skrulls, and I was like, and then you find out that it wasn't even them. Like, it was characters from Captain Marvel, which you guys need to see. So many people are like, oh, I don't think I need to see Captain Marvel. Well, let me tell you now, you do, especially to see this movie. So, that, like, I flipped out. Oh my god. And then just everything, and then the happy Hogan. I love the fact that Jon Favreau is still in this universe. It makes me so happy. Pun intended, or pun not intended, but I'm gonna say it's intended. I loved the him and May romance. I thought that was so funny and cute. And Martin Starr just as Mr. Harrington. Just all the teachers, and the teachers, fantastic. Like, so fun. The whole class, everyone in the class, it was so funny, and I love all of the characters so much. And Tony Revolori's Flash is just so good. Like, he's so good. He does Flash so well, especially it's actually 2023 there. A 2023 Flash, like a modern Flash, does it so well. It's crazy. But there's so much to talk about with this movie, and I'm absolutely flipping out, but I'm gonna make more videos about it because there's so much to talk about, like, going forward, and to dive again into, like, more specifically into things that happen in this movie. There were a lot of Easter eggs. There was a lot of fun stuff. I don't know if you guys saw the PS4 suits in there. There was so like classic comic suits when Peter was looking at the suits. It was so cool. The Led Zeppelin, everything was great. It was great. It was so good. I loved it so much, and I cannot wait to talk about this with you guys in the comments down below and in future videos, which I will be making. So subscribe if you want to see those, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked the movie. And I am just, wow, I'm going absolutely crazy. Again, let me know what you guys think. I absolutely loved it, and I need to go see it again in a half hour. Oh my god, I need to leave in like 9 minutes. And I need to eat dinner. But I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. Ugh! And I have buffer time, because I'm not going to watch all the trailers again, I don't think, because... Oh, the Jumanji trailer! I should have reacted to that. It was so good. And same with the Hobbs and Shaw trailer. Oh my god. They were so good. Like, they were really good trailers. Okay. Yeah. Until my next Spider-Man or MCU or any video, really, my next thing will probably, if it's not a Spider-Man video that I make tomorrow, it'll probably be my Stranger Things reviews, which is coming out on my birthday, July 4th, which is in 2 days, and I'm very excited for that. So yeah, until next time, have a good day, everyone.